A full year has passed since Bola Ahmed Tinubu was elected as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A renewed hope was his promise. For many Nigerians, the last 1 year has been renewed suffering and renewed shege, as they will call it, as the president's 8-point agenda fails to tackle matters arising and food insecurity, inflation, unemployment, and a declining gross domestic product. Viewers, our focus today is reviewing the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 1 year in office. Now, this is to you. As a citizen of Nigeria, what can you say about the President's administration and all the policies he has put in place since he was elected President? Anyways, good morning, and this is now streaming, coming to you live from ACNNTV in the nation's capital city. I am your anchor for today, Adeshewa Orioye, and I welcome you in the studio, Mr. Paul Smith Obasi, former ADC senatorial candidate for FCT, and Comrade Olumuyiwa Olede, Executive Director, Citizens Awareness Against Corruption and Social Vices Initiative. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Thank
you for having me.
Yes, sir. Joining us virtually later are Honorable Chris George, an APC chieftain, and Wayne Chikezie Elijah Esquire, principal partner of WCE and co-chambers. Viewers, you know the drill. Please feel free to call, join the conversation by calling the number showing on your screen. You can also send in your comments on our social media handles, which are also displayed on your screen. We need to, this review, it is on all of us. What is, as the 1 year of the president in office, what has it been to you? I would love to hear. I would love to hear from you. I would love to read about your review for the president. Well, before we go into the discussion of the day, let's briefly examine some selected newspaper for the national dailies. I'll start with the Vanguard newspaper. And with this lead story on page 5, strike looms as minimum wage talks end in deadlock again. The kicker here says FG OPS had 3,000 to earlier offers. Labour challenges government to break down offer. Nationwide strike appears inevitable in June. Another kicker says organized labours demand any endangered job security. This was said by OPS. And the stories above the mass aired, page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. 16th, Tinubu must do to succeed. This was said by, this is come from Atiku. And story after that is Kano Emirate tussle. The court gave conflicting orders on Sanusi's removal. More of this detail on page 15. And we have the Tinubu effect, the Tinubu's bittersweet run, 365 days on, and I think more of this on this particular column of the Vanguard newspaper. Moving on to the story on page 8, federal government now has enough to clear debt, says Wale Edu. I can see you have something to say. What do you was that just the sigh, or you have more to say to that?
No, I'm just it's funny.
Okay, it's funny.
It's funny.
Okay.
If they have enough to clear the debt, then they should clear it now. There is no need to talk about it. Just clear the debt.
Okay.
If they have enough to clear
if they have enough to clear the debt, there's no need to talk about it.
There's no need to talk about it. Just clear the debt.
Okay. All right. All right. So moving on to, there's more of that story on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Then I'll take Apple insists on May 30 seats at home in Southeast. This is to commemorate the Biafra Day. That's all I'll take on the Vanguard newspaper. I'll move on to the Punch. Now start with the major headlines here. Federal government plans fresh cash transfer scheme for 75 million Nigerians. I'm concerned because why they hand out all the time? I think people just want an enabling environment for them to thrive. I don't see, because some of these handouts don't even go to the concerned or to most Nigerians. So I don't know why they hand out again. What do you say about this?
Well, we all know that whenever any government is trying to share money like this, it's another means of enriching friends and relatives of people in governance. Because at the end of the day, these monies do not get to the people that they should get to. You understand? And we've always said, why share money?
Why share money? He said
invest the money.
It's his first anniversary gift.
Invest the money in production, in things that will advance and better the lives of citizens. You don't need to share money. You see, Nigerians are very resilient and hardworking people. If you put this money into things that will increase production, increase welfare, healthcare, and all of that, Nigerians will thrive. You don't need to share money to them. You don't need, every time they're sharing money. Look at what happened the other time, that they just want to spend billions to verify people they want to share money to. You understand? So these are the wastes we are talking about. These are the wastes. Who are you sharing the money to? How did you identify these people? You understand? What are the indices? What measure did you use in identifying these people or these families or these homes? What measure did you put in place?
The 50,000. Sorry about that. The 50,000 that was shared. I don't know how far that went.
To who? Who are the people you share this money to? Who to who? Where are the list? Which home? Which family? Where are the people? To who? You understand? To who? You just share money. we you know, there is a lot we need to start getting right in this country. If we say we want to move forward as a nation, things like this are not the right step in moving forward. You understand? These things, they lead to retrogression, because we are still going back to the mistakes we made yesterday and expecting a new result. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. These monies should be invested in production. We need the country to begin to produce. We have everything available. Invest them in production. Invest them in farming. Invest them in trade. Invest this money. Don't share the money. Don't share it. Because at the end of the day, this money is to enrich the rich.
Right.
You understand? It's to continue to put money in the hands of the rich. And the poor people you want to give this money, the money does not get to them.
All right, comrade.
Yes,
what do you have to say to this?
I've always said it. Any opportunity I have to be in front of the mic, I will tell people that there's always need for palliative. There's always need for palliative. But how it is being shared is the problem. How you get it to the right people is
Does it get to the right people?
That is the biggest problem. And the problem is not that of the government alone, because even as individuals, when you want to do charity, even as NGOs and international communities, when they want to do charity that does not have to do with government, it doesn't even get to the people. So it's not a government problem. It's not as if it is when government is sharing palliative that it doesn't get to the people. When you are sharing palliative in Nigeria, it doesn't get to the people. That means it's a problem of the people. It's a problem of the people.
But how about setting in place policies?
No. Within a group. Within a group. Let's even look at it within a group. Within a group, a committee of friends. You understand? How transparent are we?
When it comes to money.
How transparent are we? You understand? Within ourselves, within a family, how transparent are we? Let me give this to this, let me give this to that, let me give this. How transparent are we? That means it's a big problem. Now, looking at investing money in production, no, we operate a capitalist economy. We are not in a socialist economy like Saudi Arabia. The production is in the hand of private individual, and we are saying, okay, we want production to be in the hands of private individuals. Even though those things are in the hand of government, we are taking them to, because now Dangote has a refinery now. As Patrick ACNN has a refinery now, we have modular refineries. That means people that have this money, they should come and invest. All the government can do is to encourage them to invest. But how responsible are these investors? How responsible are these investors? spend money on research. We are supposed to operate a research-based economy. Spend money on research. How do you do that? You look at the academicians. You give them money. I remember when Professor Bogoro was Executive Secretary of TEDFund, he said it boldly, that when you give money to lecturers for research, there are two things that is important to them. They buy a car and they buy a house. And that is the end of it. So how can we run like that? As a people, we must look at our responsibility to our country. You know, when you have a friend and that friend always look at your responsibility to him and not his responsibility to you, then that is not a good relationship. Our relationship with our country is faulty as a people, as citizens. We do not know our responsibility to the country. When we find ourselves in position of power, we are ministers, we are executive secretary, we are DGs. Yes. We believe it is time for
even
us
to
hit.
To the small
even
units.
To a councillor.
Yes.
We believe it is time for us to hit. Nobody can hit enough.
Nobody can.
One day, what you have looted will be exhausted.
Yes.
Then you start blaming the government. I see a country where the people always know what to do when they are not in government.
Power.
But when they are in power, they no longer know what to do. You understand? It's very funny to me when the wives and the families of people sponsoring bills that are detrimental to the people in the National Assembly goes to the marketplace, go to different places to talk about those bills, and they attribute those bills to federal government, leaving out their family members sponsoring those bills. When you look at cybersecurity levy, somebody sponsored the bill. Somebody sponsored the bill. Nobody's talking about the person that sponsored the bill. You understand? So, what is the brain behind the person that sponsored the bill? Why did he sponsor the bill? As the bill be altered by the National Assembly, is the bill still is original plan, or it was altered? Those are the things people must become responsible. Look at today now, we are analyzing 1 year of the president. But are we analyzing 1 year of our governors? Who has chosen to strangle local government and bring down local government operation to their nails? We are not too young to know that in 1999 it was local government election that was conducted first before every other election. Today, we have state independent electoral commissions conducting elections for local government. Anywhere APC is the governor, when they conduct election, APC win the whole local government and the whole councillors. Anywhere PDP is the governor, when they conduct election, PDP wins the whole chairmanship and the whole councillorship. How can a country run like that? Our democracy has not been able to thrive because of high-handedness of individuals whom we are entrusted power into their hands. And it is a normal thing. It's a good thing. Once you elect people to lead, you must respect them. But respect must be earned. It's not demandable. But the attitude of our leaders, especially the governors, and there's no exception. 36 state governors. You can see a governor that is okay. A governor that is talking about how National Assembly should be truly independent. How National Assembly should not be a rubber stamp. The same governor has the Speaker of National Assembly coming to his house and lobbying through his wife to get things done in another arm of government that is supposed to be autonomous. See, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. But the people, do the people challenge them? No.
They are after their court.
The answer is no. The people don't challenge the governors. The people don't challenge their representatives. The people don't challenge everybody they elect.
I think it's because of they feel their voice won't be heard. Or there's nothing they can do. But our
voice will be heard at the level we are criticizing the federal government. But we look at it 1 year ago, you cannot compare the allocation of each and every state government now to what they are receiving now. What have they been able to do? We're talking about minimum wage. Labour is 615, and the government is 60,000. I want to tell you categorically that more than 60% of states have not been able to pay this 30,000. And we are moving away from the 30,000 to 60,000 to maybe 100,000 to maybe even 150,000 as we are agitated. So how will they pay? What is the governor saying? You understand? The federal government is talking on behalf of governors, and this thing, the governors are not seeing anything. That means the federal government and Labour can speak, can deliberate, can say whatever they want.
And
National Assembly can go ahead and pass any amount they want. They are not bound to follow that law. They are not bound to follow that law, because if they are bound to follow that law, as I speak to you today, Kano, center of commerce, is supposed to be able to generate revenue to run the state and even pay salary. Kano is paying 18,000. As I speak to you today, my whole celebrated Alex Oti of Abia State is still paying 18,000. There's issue with labor there. So what is the problem? Is it that there's no money to pay? Let them come out to tell us. Let them come out to in a more transparent and accountable way to say, okay, this is what is coming in. This is what we are using to service debt. This is what we can use to pay salary. Because it's not, you cannot tell us that everybody in the state, everybody in Nigeria, draw salary from government. No, it's not possible. Only few percent of our people draw salary from government. So you cannot expect a percentage, half of a state revenue to go into salary. It's not possible. But the people do not even trust the governors. The people do not trust elected leaders. The people do not trust the president. So the president must bring to table transparency and accountability so that the people will begin to have confidence in their leaders. That is the first thing.
All right,
that is the way to go.
Thank you very much. I would like to, Honorable Chris, can you hear me? We are talking about the federal government plans to the fresh cash transfer scheme. Oh, okay. I learned is not online. All right. Moving forward to the other stories here on Punch newspaper. I think I will take the minimum wage talks collapse again as Labour rejects 6,000 of this. This is more of this on page 18 of the Punch newspaper. Then I'll pick the renewed hope agenda areas, 1 year of Tinubu administration, which is building a safer, stronger and prosperous Nigeria. We have the economic reforms and sustained growth, strengthening national security, boosting agriculture and food security, unlocking energy and natural resources, enhancing infrastructure and transportation, education, health and social investment. Then economic reforms for sustained growth and improving government. So this is its priority area. All right, Honorable Chris, can you hear me? We've been talking about the federal government plans fresh cash transfer scheme for 75 million Nigerians. What do you think about this? This is the president's first anniversary gift. Is this necessary? Is this okay? What is your opinion about this?
Well, for me, if the president says that is what he's doing, transferring 50,000 naira to 70 million Nigerians, you ask yourself, what will the 70,000 naira do for the people? That's not what we want right now. All we want is, we want a level that we can use our own money, not the money the federal government is transferring to us, to be able to get what we want. We want a better economy. We want food items to get dropped. The level of hunger in this nation is something else. You will ask yourself these questions. The money that is being that the government wants to transfer, how many households will get it? What of those in the village who have no bank accounts? What of those people in the village who does not know what the cash transfer is all about? They have no proper education on it. So, for me, the cash transfer of the president as a gift to vulnerable Nigerians is as good as nothing. I would even advise a government to do that, because it won't get to everybody. I want to assure you that that cash transfer may have been adjusted by certain individuals. So, for me, it is not necessary. It is not. It is not. The government know where the problem is coming from. Now, let me give you for a little example of something that just happened just in my presence some few days ago. A young man was just going on the road, walking on the road. The next thing, I was driving before towards the place, and what happened? The young man fell, and people thought he was an epileptic person. People stood trying to assist him, and the next thing, what happened? The man stood up from the place. People helped him, and he stood up from the place, and then was begging the people, please, that he has not eaten from the previous day to that day. We have to gather money to make sure that he will know that he was very hungry. So, and then the federal government would now say that those kind of people will receive that money. How will it even get to such a person? So for me, the federal government should make sure that the economy is properly managed, and then let food items come down for the for even those in the village, so they can afford it. So we don't need those say 50,000 or 70,000 cash transfer. What can he buy in the market? What can he get? You go to the market today, you will see 4 pieces of tomato maybe for 1,000 naira. So what will that get? So the federal government knows where this problem is. The president should stop the cash transfer and know what to do to the life of the people. Nigerians are dying on daily basis. Nigerians are perishing on daily basis. I'm ashamed to call myself an APC member. I'm very much ashamed because Nigerians are dying every day. You know how much I release to people every day just to feed. This is not what we want.
Thank you very much.
On a democracy day like this, Nigerians should be happy with their leaders. Nigerians should be happy with their democracy. Nigerians should be happy with their presidents.
Honorable
but
Chris,
Nigerians today are not happy.
Honorable Chris, you know you are APC chieftain, and if this is your expression towards what is going on, is it that in your party there is no this advisory board that come together and like, okay, let's try to advise the president, you know, one, it's a win for one, it's a win for all. So is it that this is not happening? Because you, just like you rightly said, you are also an APC member. So is it that there is no unity, or this what your grievance is now is not being other members are not feeling it? They feel it's okay and fine.
Now let me tell you, it is another thing to advise Mr. President, and it's another thing for Mr. President to take it. I know that the national chairman of the party has been working hard to make sure to let the president know that things are not properly done. Now, let me tell you, I'm a founding member of APC. I started APC from day one. I vowed to be the first national youth leader of APC. But based because the national chairman of the party was coming this way, I decided to drop the ambition.
All right.
And so, we have a vision. Now, let me tell you what is happening in our party today. The party has been overloaded with those who do not understand why APC was formed. APC came to salvage this nation. Where we are today is not the original plan of the APC. It's not the original manifesto of the APC. Our vision and plan was to salvage this nation and make the common man in Nigeria eat well. The common man in Nigeria see what to eat, get to the market, and is able to afford whatsoever he wants to eat, whatsoever he wants to get. Our vision was to make sure that Nigerians can at least buy fuel for a very lower amount of money.
Well, according to
the basis, and that was why we campaigned in 2015 for the people so that they can support us. But today, the manifesto of APC as a party is not being followed. The The party has turned, our leaders has turned from what the original plan of this party. You know why? They have brought people who do not understand the manifesto. They have brought people who do not understand what the party stands for. We have brought in people who do not understand what we planned for Nigerians. We have brought in the strange people into our party. And until these people leave, because even if the right people goes to tell the president, Nigerians are suffering, Nigerians are going through pains, this same set of people will go tell Mr. President that Nigerians are happy with this government. See, let me tell you, my sister, I'm a member of APC. I supported President Tinubu. I supported President Buhari. But let me tell you, today, I cannot go out to tell Nigerians that, oh, I am a member of the party. I'm ashamed. Today, people are haunting us because they saw that I supported our party so strongly. Until today, I still support our party. We have derailed, we have left our real vision. And today, this is where we are.
Thank you.
And until we come back to send those midwives out of our party,
thank you,
my dear, I wonder where we are going to.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Well, we hope your party goes back to the drawing board and make things.
Let's go back to the drawing board.
Yes,
we have a drawing board because it's
we have
a manifesto.
Yes, thank you very much.
This is not a plan of the APC that I joined in forming. I'm a founding member, and I will tell anybody I am a founding member. I joined in forming this party from day one of this party. But today, most of us who have the vision of the party are not being carried along. And this
all right, our viewers, I would like to hear from you. What is your opinion? Is your hope renewed, or is it shattered? I would like to read your comments, and you can also call in via the number showing on your screen. Well, we're going to take a breather here, short break. Then when we come back, we're going to go right into the discussion of the day. Stay.
My name is Abdul Zampara or Kepi or Sokoto, something Kasana. Visit that side, Nadia is going to say super day. I am not going to say Tinubu have not do anything, but someone, each one of three of one, may let me know what did Tinubu do inside this country. I have not said he have never do anything. Please talk to me. What did I do? Okay, you have nothing to say. Okay, Tinubu never do anything. That is this. Sincerely, I already asked, say, may someone to let me know what Tinubu do. Nobody answer. So nothing he do.
My name is Mike Ozokeme. No, this government is good, and the government is very, very good than Buhari government. In Buhari government, things are very hard, but this government is very, very good for us. I hope Tinubu will take us to the next level, and everything will be more better by the second tenure.
I'm watching the weather now. The weather looks so attractive because the sufferings of Nigeria is too much. For since the 1 year you're talking about, we are suffering. The high level of the cost of living is too much, it's too high. Okay. The Tinubu is supposed to know that he is serving the public, serving Nigeria. Being our president, Nigerian president, he's supposed to know that Nigerians are suffering. We are suffering too much. Not only that, the fuel price becomes a hike, not even too high, but a hike. And a lot of things is happening, deaths because of the hunger. So please, we are begging you people, or maybe any group, that they should let Tinubu know, because I know he's not seeing us. As I'm talking now, he's not seeing me. Let him know that there are a lot of problems in Nigeria, which he is supposed to solve. let him solve it for us.
Okay, my name is Ambassador Chemakapis Eze. I'm a Girls and Women Speaks Ambassador in Nigeria. Yeah, I'm a businesswoman. Yeah, okay. Well, as a Nigerian, I think there has been some policy reforms thus far for this 1 year, and they're not that bad at all. They're okay. Well, we're yet to see the best of his administration, of the Tinubu administration, because we still have to count the next 3 years. But for those 365 days, we think it's okay. He's making quite some progress, though not really the way Nigerians are expecting it, or maybe we feel he's not addressing the critical issues, you know, like the things that affect standard of living and other things. But in other aspects too, like in the government sectoral administration thing, we could see some reforms brought in place, you know. Then when it comes to works and infrastructure, like around the FCT, we could see what his Minister of FCT is doing, you know. So we won't say he's totally that bad, but I think there's more to come. So I would rate better at the end of 4 years. For now, I'll say let's see. There should be more.
So,
my name is Sadiq Yusuf. Yeah. Well, 1 to 10, 2. First year. I don't know what the next 3 years will look like, but this first year has been some work done, and then a lot more trouble created. You understand, with the dollar issue, the spillover from the currency, whatever that we had from Buhari's regime. You can see how the instability in currency and the forex has become a mess. So it's really, really affecting the economy. Everything is 300, 200% now. So citizen-wise, the country is not doing well. But we don't know what's going to happen in another 3 years. But we in the FCT, of course, we can say things are a bit better because some changes we can see compared to the last 8 years, you know. So we can say the current Minister of FCT is doing well.
Me, I like Obasanjo make you come this country. About this, my president now. This my president now, like you know Sabi in it. Kuma you Sabi, no be say no Sabi. Now the thing you don't hold, you don't pass your power. Now only God, now you go save this matter. No be one piece, no be two piece. For that side of talk, any person enter, you know go allows up the one day down and make you go up. Because the chair, sweet day inside. Nobody can know the one you don't enter. Now you go know what in day there. So you see this life, madam, everything then change. I like Obasanjo come past this Tinubu. Obasanjo, he don't do better. From 2004, if you remember rich now, everything then change. No be like the poor. So what in day there now, I pray God. Now only God. Now you go killing this matter. No be one person, no be two person.
well, this is the sad reality of so many Nigerians today. There's so much suffering in the land, and honestly, we don't know what to say, but we are appealing to our leaders, please, make policies that will at least affect the poor masses positively, so that life will be a little bit easy for the poor man in the streets. Thank you so much. I am Wanlem Ogechukwu.
Well, there you have it. That is the reactions of some Nigerians. You can see the mixed reactions. You can see the sad reactions, outright dissatisfactions of citizens of Nigerians about the 365 days so far of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Well, welcome back, viewers. Thank you for staying with us. And if you're just joining, this is now streaming on ACNNTV. Still with me in the studio, Mr. Paul Smith Obasi and Comrade Olumuyiwa Onlede, and joined us virtually is Honorable Chris George. The video we just watched is that of some of the opinions of Nigerians assessing President Tinubu, like I said earlier. Now, we're going to hear from the guests, and we're going to, what's the review? There's a score sheet on the table. What is your review of Mr. President so far? 365 days. We've been discussing this before we went on a short break. So, but now let's delve into it and dissect every corner. So now it's open. What is your review?
Yeah, it has been very, very challenging. Number one, from subsidy removal. You know, when during the electioneering campaign, every candidate except my brother Sowore said they said they were going to remove subsidy.
All right, I think, sorry sir, we have a caller.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Go ahead, we can hear you.
So I listen to what you are discussing on this short topic of the first year of Bola Tinubu. What I can't understand is this. With all our learning in this country, professor, everything in this country, are we normal? Are we normal? How can somebody come up and say you want to give money to 7 million people? For whom? I can't understand. I can't understand this nation anymore. Please. People are dying and investors are going. No job. Instead to sit down and create policy to attract foreign investors. They are talking about 7 million people. To whom? To whom? Are we okay? Are we okay? Are we okay? Tell me. Tell me, are we okay? There is no job, no factory, nothing. People are crossing down. Instead to hire a committee and then make a policy for foreign investors to come to country and invest. When you are giving 10,000, I mean, for what? It is every month. People are dying. People are therefore now we are all profitable. You can't get rich in Nigeria if you never government seat or a thief. We are encouraging, I mean, stealing and corruption. Stop all this nonsense. No. Bye.
Our caller from Akure, well, it will be a lot of people are actually that question is actually directed to the federal government, because we just discuss here and we are also going through and experiencing some of these difficulties, challenges that everyone is going through. So, sir, sorry.
So, the issue of subsidy removal was a campaign promise. No matter how negative the effect will be from every candidate except Sowore, as I said. And what happens after, what to do as individual candidates, if they had won, after you have removed subsidy, is what's going to be different. But every one of them said they were going to remove subsidy, and Nigerians said, okay, remove subsidy. But now, what we'll have expected from the Ministry of Petroleum is to make sure that within a short period, our moribund refineries comes to life, so that we can refine some percentage of the petroleum product that is needed in the country. After that, we work assiduously with private investors like Dangote to make sure that their refineries come to life, so that we don't have to import finished products. And that is what we have been doing for years. We export crude and it is refined and brought back to the country. And that importation of refined product is putting a burden on the naira, because there is high demand on dollars. So by refining what we are going to use here, it will help to reduce this currency problem that we are having. High dollar rate, high pound rate, which is affecting so many things. And we believe if the refinery comes to life, we are going to have at least a little or minimal reduction in the price of petroleum product. But that has not been done. That has not been done. Then now, who do we ask? Who do we ask? Who do we challenge? We should challenge the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. That is what we are supposed to do. We should challenge the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. That means somebody somewhere is not doing what he was appointed to do, because the president cannot be everywhere. The president has the prerogative to hire and fire. Once you hire somebody and he's not doing well, you fire the person, or if it is based on compensation, political compensation, that you have hired somebody, then you move the person to another, a less important ministry, so that somebody that knows what to do from day one will come to that ministry, because we need a capable hand, a Ministry of Petroleum Resources. What we are having there now is promise upon promise. We were promised December that Port Harcourt Refinery will come on stream. It did not happen. We were promised April. It did not happen. We were promised June. June is around the corner. I can't see it happen. But let us be optimistic. But we look at the Ministry of Agriculture, a very important ministry. How best have they been? We are not saying the Ministry of Agriculture will go and the minister will go into farming, or the civil servant, civil servant, the Ministry of Agriculture will now leave the office and go to their various states and start farming. No, but you can create a policy, you can make fund available to farmers, not white-collar farmers, as it has been done in the past. Anchor borrower, that was initiated by the past administration was a failure because of the same problem I talked about. We are not responsible people. We are not responsible people.
Because
you see people because your friend knows the minister, your friend's wife or your wife knows the wife to the minister. You see people, or the CBN governor that manage the Anchor Borrower program. You see that those monies went to private individuals, those that knows nothing about farming, those that are not interested in farming.
Because there's tomato price hike presently.
We are not,
and the scarcity caused by infestation.
Whatever we are doing, we don't even understand the dynamics in what we are doing. Palliative, we don't even understand, as a people, we don't understand the dynamics about palliative. You understand? If I'm the president, if we are sharing palliative, you cannot see me share palliative in FCT. If I'm going to share palliative in FCT, palliative will not be shared in Abuja Municipal Area Council. No. Palliative is meant for, you cannot even give palliative to a keke rider. A keke rider does not have problem feeding. Don't tell me that. A keke rider does not have problem feeding.
So, but they keep saying poorest of the poor.
There are people in villages.
Some of them don't have account number.
There are people in villages that want to cook. They don't even have money to buy fish. They don't even have money to buy seasoning.
How did the money get to them?
They don't have money to buy seasoning. That is what we are supposed to design. A system that will get the money to them is what we are supposed to decide. You understand? When we talk about palliative, you can't expect me to be using this kind of phone, this small phone, and I'll be running to queue for palliative. No, we don't understand the dynamics. It's not targeted at all. If you are talking about minimum wage, you draw salary from this organization. I don't draw salary from anywhere. I don't draw salary from anywhere. As we are talking about minimum wage, you must talk about people that do not draw salary from anywhere. You must talk about, people don't even understand what minimum wage is. You are bound by law. If you are an employer of labor, you have 5 people in your payroll. You are bound by law to follow suit. Even though it's charcoal you are selling. But they don't know. Nigerians do not know that they are bound by that law to follow minimum wage. You go to the United Kingdom. House helps collect minimum wage. If you are not paying, there are so many Nigerians in prison in the United Kingdom because they took people from Nigeria to United Kingdom and locked them up in the house to take care of children. And the day the police knows, you are going to be in soup. So because people do not know that you are bound by law as an employer of labor, that you have 5 people under your payroll, 3 or 5, I don't know the figure, 3 or 5. You are supposed to follow it, but you see them, the same people, breaking that law, talking about minimum wage.
All right, moving to Mr. Paul Smith. Yes, you answered the same question, but now I want to add to this. With the video we watched about the opinions of Nigerians regarding the 365 days so far of the president. Now, we had one of them saying that he prefers Obasanjo to come, that he prefers that. So what, answering this, the assessment, giving your assessment of the president 1 year in office, who would you say can do a better job? Is the opinion of that citizen, is it right, or what do you have to say about it?
His opinion is okay, but of course Obasanjo cannot come back now constitutionally. Exactly. Obasanjo cannot come back. He has done his bit, and that is the joy of democracy. where one person stops, another continues. You understand? But the truth of the matter is that since 2015, the gains of this republic has been thrown into the trash by APC since 2015. You know, you can see that all of those who in the past 8 years we are busy, Buhari is the best thing after Agege bread. Now they're saying, we didn't know that Buhari was this and that and that, but we were telling all of you that this man has nothing to offer. After 4 years we saw it, and what were you expecting? A man printed 29 trillion and shared it. Not one single thing was produced. Not even toothpick. 29 trillion and shared it. Where is the 29 trillion? There is nothing we could lay hands to and say this is what was done with 29 trillion. Not even 35 kilometers of road. You understand? You could hold on to. And now Tinubu is doing the same mistake. The same mistake of the last administration. Tinubu is doing it. In the last 1 year. You people pointing out that you see no beef with Wike. Wike has done well with continuity. But people are hailing Wike that Wike has worked. What Wike is doing are projects that are almost 85 or 90% completed in FCT that he's just completing. Well, there is nothing significant.
Sometimes Nigerians celebrate mediocrity.
You understand?
Just like
so there is nothing significant Wike has done in FCT. In fact, since Wike came in as the minister, if there is anything that has happened to FCT has beginning to experience every high form of violence and robbery and all of that. Like never before. The percentage has increased.
Estates have been invaded
and all of that. The rule of law in the FCT is nothing to write home about. You understand? The rascality within the ministry is just something else. No respect for rule of law. You go to every aspect of the ministry, corruption and all of that. How can somebody has an allocation since 2002? The person is developing his land and found out that a recent allocation has been given to somebody else. Do you understand? So no rule of law and all of that. Now, measuring the scorecard or the 1 year of Tinubu in office, it is horrible. Anybody who comes out to exalt the 1 year of Tinubu and say he has done well, then the person is an enemy of Nigeria. Yes, the person is an enemy of Nigeria and an enemy of the people. You understand? I travel a lot. And because I hate flying within Nigeria, I like to travel by road. I like to drive when I'm traveling. And when I'm traveling, you know, when you are in the FCT, you know, there is a little bit of cushion with this suffering. You don't experience it. In FCT, I will buy fuel for 690, 680. But just outside Amak here, outside of just go to Gogolada here, they're buying fuel 700 and something there. Then now imagine when you're in Lapai. Now imagine when you're in Wuya, Reke. Now imagine when you're in Bida, they are buying fuel for 1,000 something. People are suffering. When I was driving through Bauchi, villagers on the street, you will see them doing like this, begging people to just give them food to eat. They cannot farm because of insecurity. You understand? All of that. So people are suffering. Most of the candidates, all of the candidates said subsidies should be removed. But if you want to remove subsidies, this is how you remove subsidy. You just take out the whole thing at once. There is nothing in place. There is no infrastructure in place to actually cushion the effect of subsidy. You are not producing, you're not refining crude. You're not refining, you don't have enough to refine, enough refineries to refine products. You understand? The cost of importing of these things are still expensive. You just remove everything that way. And look at what has happened. Food inflation has moved from 24% to 40%. And still counting, still going up. Food inflation. Do you know what it means for food inflation to move from 24 to 40%? That means you are saying those who do not have to eat, they should kill those who have enough and take what they have. That is what you are saying. And this is the reason of the increased crime rate you can see all over the country. Even the normal inflation has increased from 22 to 33. And look at the dollar. What are we saying? Because we are dependent on the dollar, because we are a consumer nation. We depend on importation. You understand? We depend on importation.
Yeah, according to OT, it said we spent 4.8 trillion naira on food importation.
On food importation, so we depend on the dollar for importation. The dollar at 1,400 and even counting is a problem. Is a problem to the Nigerian society, because right now we are not producing. You understand? We are not producing. And you are saying private investors should come and invest in the country. How will they invest? How will they invest? They can't invest because, number one, there is no policy that protects their investment. In fact, even the ones who are invested, they are leaving. The few who have invested, they are leaving. Ordinary sunlight has moved from Nigeria to Ghana. Sunlight, yes. Go to the stores, you don't find sunlight. You don't know why you've not been seeing sunlight in the last 3 months. Sunlight has moved. They moved to Ghana.
No wonder. And insecurity has
they moved to Ghana. They shut down their whatever. And do you know how many people they've rendered jobless? We have a restaurant. We had a restaurant in Abuja here. That restaurant was demolished. Why was the restaurant demolished? Because of traffic. A restaurant that was employing close to 300 and something people was demolished because of traffic. Which sensible government will allow a restaurant that's employing 300 and something people, and we are paying above minimum wage? Our cleaners will pay them 35,000 naira. You allow it to be demolished because of what? Because of traffic. In a country where things are working, the government or whoever is representing the government will call that company. How do we help you to manage traffic?
Yes.
And even give them grants and say, okay, if you need grants to manage traffic, take this grant. Go, you are destroying. You are destroying. 300 and something people render jobless. And we pay tax. If I tell you the amount, we not only we pay federal government tax, we pay IRS tax. That's the one for FCT. So double taxation. We pay tax. You are benefiting from the tax. The tax is going to the coffers of the country. This is one business. You understand? Small business are dying every day. Why? Because of the high rate of dollar and all of that. And so what are we saying? And now when we speak now, the what is reigning now when you speak, they gag you. They say you don't speak against Tinubu. You don't speak against the. If I don't hold Tinubu responsible, who should I hold responsible? Should I hold Dangote responsible? Dangote does not control the policies that govern oil production. It is whatever policy the government rules that he will work with. Should I hold Elumelu responsible and tell Elumelu, you are charging me 28% for ATM maintenance or whatever? It is what CBN has told them. All these regulations, what CBN is telling them, these charges they are charging is CBN. You understand? So these are the policies. We have to hold the office of the president responsible. Before we hold I'm not in 36 states, so I cannot hold all the governors responsible. Okay. Before we begin to hold the governors responsible, let us hold the president. Because when the president begins to enact laws and policies that is changing the lives of citizens, governors will follow suit, because the people will begin to tell them, if the president is doing it, you should do it. Now, when the president is not doing well, the truth of the matter is that we are in a country. We are in a country where we elect people who are not clear with what they want to do for us as a nation. What vision has Tinubu told us that in the next 4 years, this is where I want Nigeria to be? This is the vision I have for Nigeria in the next 4 years. Nobody, where is it? There is no clear place he has told us that this. What the thing is, he kept saying that the farmers will make more money, and he also said it that we will shrink the purchasing power. He said it. What is the vision? What has he told us? This is what we will do with economy. This is what we will do electricity. This is what we will do healthcare. This is what we will do education. There is no clear vision for these things. Let us be honest. There is no clear vision. If you bring Tinubu here today and ask Tinubu, sir, what is your vision in the next 4 years for healthcare? Because what the vision will do, that it will put you on your toes. That in the previous 1 year, we can track back and say, okay, he said this is what he was going to do in healthcare, and this is what they've started. In the last 1 year, this is what they have done. But in the last 1 year, there is no sector that you can hold on to and say, this is what Tinubu has achieved in the last 1 year. You cannot tell me that. Tell me. Let it, because not saying that we are seeing people prosper. It's not seeing. Tell us what has been done. You don't tell me that we are seeing. Tell us what has been done. You understand? So the truth of the matter is that we have leaders that are clueless. Number one, they are clueless about the peculiarity of Nigeria. They are even clueless about what we have as a nation. About the natural resources and whatever, even our human capacity. They are clueless about it. Because I tell you, if as the president, I say I want to invest in the human capacity of Nigeria alone, I tell you, in the next 1 year, what Nigeria will be exporting. Look at countries like Benin, Togo. If you notice, you see the artisans everywhere. What are they doing? They are taking resources from other countries back to their country. They are here. They are the best tilers, the best bricklayers, the best carpenters in Nigeria. You think those money they're making is here? They're sending it back home, using it to develop their nation. So the country in the last 10 years said, look, We do not have enough resources like all these other African countries. Let us develop our people and send them to all these countries. Let them go and work and bring back to the nation. Do you understand? So if this is the only thing they're doing, you can see it in how it's reflecting in the lives of their people. But here we are not saying, oh, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to do. We are reducing our crude oil exploration from 1.1. It has reduced from 1.2 to 1.1 now. Instead of it to be going up, it's reducing. So what are we saying? We are not moving forward. The same mistakes since 2015 we are doing the same mistake. And the honest truth is that on my own, this is me. The reason why I have decided that I will not hold this man responsible is because in my own opinion, this man was forced on us. Because I do not think Nigerians with their clear mind voted for another 4 years of APC. You understand? So that is what I'm saying. Okay, let us finish these 4 years and let God help us. Let us survive it. Well, and you understand? So anybody, even we who can afford it, if you say it is not biting you, then you are not telling yourself the truth.
Yes.
I have a business. I run a business. I know what I go through to ensure I pay my salary every month when it's due. I know what I go through. We have to lay off some workers so that we can be able to increase salary of the ones we are keeping. So that they can be able to work well and live well.
Because that is the mistakes of
we have to reduce the workforce. We reduce the workforce by 20%. We have to do that. Because we wanted to increase salary. We cannot increase salary that way. We have to reduce and increase salaries. That is the only way we can increase salaries. You understand? We have to increase product price. We have to. We have to.
Well, according to the cable, Mr. President is the first person to admit that the ride has been bumpy. He also says that he is unfazed by the turbulence as he remains focused on the marathon of the next 3 years.
What is he going to do in the next year? You see, it is not.
He said this past year has been a month of baby steps, month of laying foundation for the next 3 years. So we should still.
What are these foundations that has been laid? Number one, then in the next 3 years, what is it, Mr. President, do you aim to achieve in the next 3 years? You know the problem is that we are this country, our LSI, yes sir, is too much. Let us ask the president. We don't hate the president. Ask him intriguing questions, because the more we ask him questions, the more he goes back to think. What are the foundations that has been laid in the last 1 year? Let us know them. And what is it in the next 3 years, Mr. President, do you aim to achieve? What is it? If you say I want to focus on 4 key areas, what are these 4 key areas? You understand? I honestly believe for this country to begin to attain maximum economic growth is that, first of all, the president must first of all have a national discourse that involves the 36 state governors, few or regional traditional leaders and whatever, discuss, okay, and say, look, this is the way we want this country to go. This region, we want this region to develop in this area. We want this region to develop in this area. We want this region to develop in this area. And in the next 3 years, we want this region to have developed in this area to the point that this is what we have. You understand? If we say we want gas to begin to power the whole nation, bam. If we say you want solar energy to begin to power the northern region, if you say, because we need power for industrialization, so how do we spread this power for proper industrialization? Number one. Number two, how do we harness what we have so that we can begin to create more employment and export? We must export. No, we must not export only crude oil. We have lithium in excess, and the future of the world is lithium, because the world is depending on energy for almost everything, both cars and whatever. If we have this lithium in excess and we have 200 million people, how many cars do we have in Nigeria? Why can't we begin to produce and export?
Thank you very much, Mr.
This phone you see, every 20% of this phone is lithium. 20% of this phone you're seeing is lithium. Why are we not providing services for all of these companies? We have the resources. Let us begin to go into private partnership with them and all of that. Come, invest there. You can. We have the labor force. You can begin to produce, even if it is this little wire, even if it is just the small battery. Begin to produce in Nigeria here. True. That is what China is doing, taking all the production from the US and Asia and Europe to their country, producing for companies, larger corporations. Right. They produce for iPhone. Okay, they produce for IBM and all of that.
We have a caller. All right. Okay.
Yeah, for all what you are talking of listening, please, I don't understand. What is happening to us? I don't just know. Then I don't even know where we are going to. It's like we don't know where we are going to.
That's the truth.
There's no vision, nothing
at all.
Now, I'm talking to you now. I've graduated almost 10 years ago now. Now I'm riding Okada, struggling to maintain my family. Now to survive, to do anything, I don't just know. Now as we are just living as if we don't know what is. We just wake up, see another thing. We hear something like yesterday, tomorrow another thing. Today we don't just know what is going on. What is happening? What is happening?
That
what
is the
happening
truth.
to us?
Nigerians are just living no vision. If there is a vision, the people wake up every day and work according to towards the vision.
What is the evidence? Now you are producing criminals every day. You are telling us what we don't want to do. You are pushing us to where we don't want to go. Now, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? Now, if you don't have anybody up now, nothing for you. Now, we are calling ourselves as a Nigeria. Now, you see people forcing themselves to another country. If they're talking, why they leaving the country? Why would not leave the country? See, it's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. Now, if all the heroes that have done it before, if that's the way they've done it, all these people that are ruining us now, they throughout their education, it's free education. Free education. They make everything available for them. Look at the buildings in the school. Look at what is going on. Now, to send our children to school now is very difficult. Which kind of legacy is this? What are we producing? It's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair. And I believe one day, God will judge. The Lord will judge.
Even the education. What do we expect a Nigerian child to be after secondary school?
Thank you.
When you say this child is done with secondary school, there is an expectation on the Nigerian government that this is how this child, these are the qualities this child will exude. This is the level of knowledge this child should have. You understand? So what is our education? How do we renew and re-evaluate our curriculums? The same curriculum I used as a child is what is being used now. So when you see, if in Europe, when you see there is an expectation of the government on every high school student that this is the level of knowledge these high school students should have and should exude at this level.
Leadership.
Do we have
leadership? You are taught leadership. You are taught to be responsible. But number one, I want to talk about local government autonomy. You said something about the president leading for the states to follow, but I want to disagree. Obaseki woke up and said minimum wage is 70,000 in Edo State. You understand? I said minimum wage is 70,000. He did not wait for the federal government. The federal government is still struggling around 60,000. Obaseki of Edo State is already on 70,000.
But do we not know his politics? And the hippie problem for the next person that will come now.
No. See,
you know the truth of the matter.
The state can pay if they are responsible. They set their priority straight. They can pay.
Okay,
they don't want to pay.
That
is why they don't want to pay.
We're not saying the state cannot pay, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you check?
Are you comfortable, sir? Sorry. Are you comfortable with the way local government is being run?
No, what I'm saying is that
we'll come back to this.
Whose fault, sir? Local government deteriorating. Local government.
No, what I'm saying is, hold on.
We'll come back to this.
Hold on. What I'm saying is that whenever any state borrows money,
we'll come back to this aspect of the topic.
Whenever any state borrows money,
Mr. Paul.
Yes,
that is foreign loan. That is foreign loan.
Mr. Paul, we'll come back to this aspect of this topic.
I
want to engage
my
online guest.
Okay.
I want to engage my online guest, Honorable Kanye, Barrister Wayne. Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, I will ask you this, just a few seconds. What is your assessment of the ministers that the president have appointed so far from the finance, power, security, education, health, transportation, labor, all the sectors in this 1 year administration? What is your assessment?
Well, I'll be honest with Mr. President, at least, and I'm going to give him a first call. And the first call I'm going to give to Mr. President is that he has, you know, failed beautifully in his principal and primary role as the president of Nigeria. As a legal practitioner, I've been able to understudy the functions and also look at all the powers given to Mr. President under Section 4 of the 1999 Constitution and other provisions of the Constitution that give the President the power to foster policies for the promotion of economic policies and also to ensure that social amenities are put in place for Nigerians. Mr. President has beautifully scored 0/100, and the National Assembly has equally scored 0/100. And Nigerians should recall all the Senate members and all the House of Rep members that is seated in Abuja with their babariga and their suits. They should recall everybody back home because they failed woefully. And honestly speaking, Mr. President they should commence the removal proceedings immediately against Mr. President, because as at this time last year, there was a serious constitutional breach. The removal of fuel subsidy before it could run from January to 30th of June was a constitutional breach. There has already been an allocation, budget allocation in 2022, 31st of December 2022. Before 2023, the former President Buhari has already signed the budget for fuel subsidy to run from 1st January 2023 to 30th June 2023.
That we've discussed that this is not only, yes, we can assess from the top with the president, but now he appointed ministers into some of these sectors, different sectors, and when they are not doing well, we have the power sector, the agricultural sector. When they are not doing well, is Mr. President, is he expected to sack this persons? And why is that not happening? Why are they not sanctioned for not doing what is expected? The Minister of Petroleum, why are they not sanctioned till now?
Because the president does not know what to do. If you appoint a minister, there's an expectation from you. If okay, now let's say ACNN employed you here now. There is an expectation of the ACN from you. They know what they want from you. If you're not giving them what they want, they should sack you. But if they're not sacking you, that means they don't even know what they want from you. They don't know what they want. That is the truth. Let us tell ourselves the truth.
When you look at ministries like power, technology, the ministers should go. Petroleum, the ministers should go. They should honorably.
Even agriculture, they should go.
You understand? They should go. They don't know what is happening. And you know the most painful thing, when you go to these ministries, just go to these ministries, just walk around the ministries. They behave as if everything is normal. They behave as if they are not concerned. They behave as if they have performed excellently well. You know, when there's a problem, see, as head of a family, when there's a problem, you are supposed to be up and doing. You are supposed to be, you understand? Go to ministries. They are living their normal lives. The ministers are living their normal life. But it's unfortunate that people like us go out to talk and say these people are not doing well, but because everybody, the problem about Nigeria is everybody's apron is tied to the politicians. Everybody's apron is tied to the politicians. You now go to the ministry to say that Kadede.
Sir, do you know if you take a good idea
I
to
will
the
not do
ministry?
that. I will not do that. You
Sir, do you know if you take
I have proposals with state governors, but I will tell any state governor that cares to know that they are breaching the constitution by not allowing local government to function. Let me tell you, we cannot have a viable economy without a viable local government. It's a separate government that should function. These people should handle primary education. Primary schools should be under the local government. The local government, in 1999, local government chairmen were commissioning projects. In 1999, local government were giving scholarship to people within their local government. Now we don't have such. You say caretaker committee, or you conduct an election that is not free and fair, that nobody sees this thing. When there is PDP as governor, PDP wins all the councillor and the district. When there is APC wins all. I'm not even a believer of political party, just the way I'm not a believer of denomination.
All right, we have a caller. Sorry, we have a caller.
Do you know if you have a good idea?
All right. Thank you for the conversation. I want to appreciate the guests in the house. Hello, can you hear me? So I want to really appreciate the guest in the studio. It's been quite a good one. I want to thank His Excellency President President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's been 1 year full of good things. We now have light everywhere in Nigeria. We have good roads. There is no hunger. There is no inflation at all. Workers' salary have been paid at the right time. All these are promises he made us when he was coming into office. And as you can well see, we now have all of them in full now. We really want to thank him so much. Rice is now 100 naira a module, and we thank the president for this. It is really, really unfortunate. It is really, really unfortunate that all the promises we have made, they can't boast of one after 1 year. They can't even boast of one. They made petrol at 165. They moved it to 195, from 195 to 690. I traveled to the east last weekend. I bought for 1,200, and I was shedding tears. With 10,000 naira, I couldn't buy 10 liters of fuel. And we have a government, and we're celebrating 1 year in office. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We should be ashamed of ourselves as a country. After 1 year of government, we can't boast of anything. Workers are being owed salary. We are talking about minimum wage, where somebody is telling to pay 45,000 naira to 60,000 naira minimum wage for a liter of petrol that is 690. So the government should sit back and bury their head in shame and go back to the drawing board, because it has been 1 year, according to Nigerians, of renewed shaking. Thank you so much.
Very much. We see your sarcasm in that from the beginning of the call. It's quite unfortunate where we had present.
You know, I've been saying this, and I keep saying it. This government, what is their plan? What is their plan? What is their vision for the next 3 years now? 1 year is gone. What is their plan? What is this? Because if there is a vision, whenever we wake up, everybody aligns to that vision. We want to achieve everybody, but what is the plan? Nothing. There is no drawing board to go back to. You say there is a drawing board. Is there a board in the first place to go back to what drawing board? The party, APC as a party, what is the vision of APC as a party for the Nigeria in the next 4 years? Let us start from there. Then not to talk of the president.
Comrade, you say something.
Yes,
sorry, comrade.
With due respect to my fellow guest, he's maybe a card-carrying member of a political party that I don't believe. I don't believe in political parties just the way I don't believe in denomination.
But they're shaping
I don't believe. You understand?
Political parties shaping the future.
Nobody in any political party can boast to me. I'm not a card-carrying member of any
everywhere, whether democracy,
that you have not carried
democracy,
that you have not carried two different cards of a political party. It's not possible.
Russia and China.
They were somewhere before. Then now they are somewhere now.
Sir, let me say something.
Just like footballers, just as somebody will play for Man U and play for Napoli and play for this thing. You understand?
So they're being bought.
See, one of the greatest problems any nation will face, according to Mahatma Gandhi, he says it's a social sin. It's politics without principles. Politics without principle. It's an individual thing. Alex Oti, if you take Alex Oti to any political party, Alex Oti will still be doing what he's doing in Abia State. When you talk about electricity, the people of Aba, they are not facing the problem that you are facing when it comes to electricity. I can tell you categorically, the people of Aba are not facing the same thing, because though it's a private business owned by Batinaji, he was able to help. You understand? That is his job. Encourage, help a company, a project that has been moribund for a very long time. He was able to, help in restructuring the finance, and the thing has come on board. And the people of Aba now have electricity. You understand? That is a governor. That is not a president. That is a governor. That is what I want from individual governors. Do something. Take one aspect of the economy and work on it. Deal with it. If it is water you can bring water. If you want to renovate schools and train your teachers, do that. If you want to support farmers, do that at your own state level, at your own local level. But allow local government to breathe. As you are doing that, if individual local government chairmen are elected and election is being conducted by INEC just the way we had it in 1999, they will be doing the same thing. Our democracy will grow. The parties you call smaller parties will become big parties, because they cannot elect councillors, elect local government chairman. From local government chairman, the party will see, people will see what their local government chairmen are doing. They will be able to elect them into House of Assembly, elect them into House of Reps, and there is going to be competition. Politics is supposed to be a competition of ideas. Politics is not supposed to be competition of political party. This one, this my state is this party. This state is PDP. This state is APC. There is nothing like that. There is nothing like that. It's just a vehicle for you to be elected because there is no independent candidacy. If we have independent candidacy in our constitution, people will contest election as independent candidates and they will win election without joining any political party. I don't have to belong to any religion. I don't have to belong to any denomination before I know that I'm not supposed to take what does not belong to me. I will rather do business with Professor Wole Soyinka today than do business with some people claiming to be religious people. You are religious, but you are not godly. You understand? That is what we are saying. You have a political party. You understand? You belong to a political party. You are strong in the political party. But that political party, you are not even loyal to it. You are not loyal to your country. People know what to do when they are not in office. Nigerians, immediately you get them to office, they no longer know what to do. They no longer know what to do. Maybe there's something. You can see, I hear that outside boy saying they should bring back Obasanjo. He said, that seat, there's something there. He was saying something like, that's it, there's something there. And I want to say, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Nobody can do beyond his brain. Nobody can do anything beyond his brain. You can only perform what you know,
what to do best.
Your best.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
See, let me tell you, I want to commend him. He said they have a restaurant and they are paying minimum wage. I want to commend him for that. You see people not pay minimum wage. People employing supermarket, filling stations. You see, they make millions every month, but they are not paying minimum wage.
10,000, 12,000.
Yes. They pay 12,000 to this. Why? So if now I'm being cheated by that fuel attendant, you understand? Why won't the fuel attendant cheat? Why won't they cheat?
On which we've seen.
They will not rob meter. They will sell to you. Yes, they continue from where they stop. They sell to you. Then you have to pay for it.
They even rob the organization they work for.
That is what they live on. You understand? And you see the dealers in those filling stations, the managers in those filling stations talking about minimum wage. They don't even know their responsibility. They don't know that the law also affects them. I tell you, people are in jail in UK. Nigerians are in prison.
Thank you. I want to read this. I want to read this scorecard of Charlie Boy about for the president's first year. Number one, he said nearly bought Emirates back to Nigeria 3 times, nearly attracted Frezim bank loan, nearly sealed Dutch $1 million investment, appointed his ministers, discussed with some white men, moved FAN, F-A-A-N, to Lagos, didn't meddle in Wike Fubara's battle, almost allocated 5 billion for student loan, almost. Then he allocated 90 billion for 2024 Hajj, nearly started a war with Niger, moved Niger, moved CBN to Lagos, took 1,410 people to UAE for summit, approved road from VI to Ekpe for 1 trillion, almost started the PH refinery, almost won AFCON, removed subsidy and used usual subsidy allocation for something, padded budget by £3 billion, did appointments every week, went on vacation 2 times after working so hard, almost invited Qatar investment, bought jeeps for all his supporters. This is the much I can remember now. I'm sure there is more. Kindly add yours as we can see successful. As you can see how successful he has been for the past 12 months. And this is the scorecard of Charlie Boy. Now, Honorable Chris. All right. What is your assessment? We've been discussing this before, and I threw the question at you. What is your assessment to all the sectors in this administration for the past 1 year?
Well, thank you, my sister, for bringing me back. The truth about it is that For the past 1 year, I am still asking myself, do we have a government? Do we have a democracy? Now, let me tell you, for the past 1 year, sectors has not been working. Not the power sector, not the petroleum sector, not the agricultural sector. No sector is actually working. It is not enough to say, oh, you are constructing road for the people. That is not the issue. The security sector, not even the security sector, is completely zero. Our farmers cannot go to the farm to farm. Why? Because of fear of the unknown. They don't know who will come to kill them in the farm.
So will you agree that these ministers should be sacked since they are not doing what they are expected to do?
I am in the opinion that the president should drop all his ministers. All.
The Minister of Interior is doing well.
Yes, the Minister of Interior is doing well.
Well, I don't know that.
Okay.
I don't know that. The minister should review his cabinet. He should review his cabinet. Just like I hear people say, no, the FCT minister is doing well, How is he doing well? Most of those projects you see in the FCT were 90 or 80% completed in the previous administration. Is there any new project? I come to Abuja almost on monthly basis. Is there any new projects on ground? No. What our National Assembly members doing?
Aviation is doing well.
They should go back to the. I have always said that we should go back to the drawing board. Mr. President may have a good intention for the nation, but the people you have surrounded around you, who has no vision, who has no nothing to contribute to the society, they only come to play politics. Now, let me tell you, most of the ministers right now are not focusing on what they were appointed to do. They are focusing on how in 2027 they will come to do politics in their various states. Some of them want to contest for House of Assembly.
We've actually spent a lot of time discussing this, and it's quite sad. With I don't think there is any happy opinion or expressions. It's been challenging, and even the president also acknowledged that it's been a turbulent year for him. But he said we should look out and watch out for his next 3 years, because these are just baby steps that catapult us into the huge benefit that we are to see moving forward. Hopefully we do. Now, in a few seconds, I want you to give your last words on the show.
No, the president should go back to the drawing board and review his team, review his policies, go back to his manifesto and review his policies, and there should be something like just specification and person specification must match for him to perform. So he should review his team, those not performing according to what he said, that if you are not performing, you leave us. He should go back to that statement and watch it again and take action. Those ministers not doing well should leave. Heaven will not fall. There are people within the states statutorily that will replace them and do better than they are doing now.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. You too.
You see, prosperity is a journey. So from the beginning, if you look at the end of prosperity, it gives hope. You understand? So from where we are now, there is no hope that we will attain to the top of prosperity. So the president needs to immediately overhaul his cabinet, his policies, and he needs to come up with a vision for Nigeria for the next 3 years. What he wants to, he needs to be clear about it. If not, after 4 years, another 4 years will come and go, we'll still be talking and complaining. You understand? So that is, we hope they listen. That is another thing. We hope they listen.
Yes. All right, because we've been discussing, this has been overflogged. We keep hearing our opinion. I don't think Nigerians are actually silent, but it may seem as though we are not being heard, and that is why people are being I don't know if it is a suppressed emotions that they're trying to keep that okay, things might get better. Anyways, to our guest, I want to say thank you for your thoughts. I appreciate your contribution. It was insightful. And to our viewers, the calls, the comments, thank you for being part of the program. I want to leave you with this. We pray and hope that our country gets better. I will still say this, that God will bless Nigeria. I am Adishewa Orioye. Bye for now.